Well, good morning, good people. Mark Holmes here, and as always, I want to say thank you all for watching, commenting, subscribing, and being part of the Joe Boo Sports Report. Without you guys, as well as you ladies, you know that this literally does not work. I hope you're having a great Taco Tuesday, and hope all your taco dreams come true. I'm not thinking about food too much after that chip last night, because that thing, I'm burning for you, for sure. But anyway, we have some news here while I'm going down the road here. Some interesting stuff. I've been listening to Skip, Big Shannon Sharp, and they haven't said anything about Micah Parsons coming on today. So I'm going to listen to the rest of the show. Hopefully I don't get any brain damage, and see if he actually does come on. I'm curious on that. 11 from heaven, as Skip Bayless says.
It's a bug.
Oh, it was a bug. I was wondering. Did you guys see that? Okay, I bet you did. Couple of things. Dalton Schultz, we talked about the PCL injury, which is a sprain. It's possible that he misses the Monday night game against the Giants. It's possible that he actually plays, but it's not deemed a serious injury where he's going to miss multiple weeks. It could be just that game. That game, the Cowboys are opening up as a 2.5 point underdog against the New York Giants, which, you know what, I kind of like being the underdog. I like being the guy that people don't think are going to do anything. Surprisingly, let me say this much. Shout out to the Giants, who are 2-0 to start the season. Barkley, the first week, looked like he was the best running back in football. And actually, after seeing the way Henry played last night, had 15 carries for 23 yards. It's amazing that nobody is talking about him being done after his injuries last year. In fact, the fact that he is actually running 1.1 yards less per carry than Zeke Elliott. And ain't nobody saying nothing, but we all know why. But Barkley looking good. Their defense is legitimate. For me, the Achilles heel is still and always will be Daniel Jones. Daniel Jones leaves a lot to be desired as far as a quarterback, and I think with the Cowboys being able to put on the pressure that they can, I think the Cowboys can definitely get some short fields because of takeaways. And I don't want to lessen what the Giants have done, okay? Understand this, that half of the teams that were playoff teams last year won't be, statistically, this year. And you have to wonder, the Titans now starting off 0-2, if they're one of those teams that's in trouble. You looked at that and said, oh my God, the Giants ended up holding Tennessee and getting a win against those guys, which seemed to be a surprise. But then you see the dismantling last night of them by the Buffalo Bills. And I'm not saying the Giants are anywhere near the Buffalo Bills, but they literally destroyed Tennessee. And you have to wonder, okay, is that win as big as it was looking at Tennessee where they are? But in the NFL, any win is a big win. And we'll see what happens on Monday night without Dalton Schultz. The question will be will Cooper Rush be able to play the way he did last week? Will the team be able to play collectively the way they did last week? Can the defense sustain what they're doing already? And here's what's crazy. Quietly, we already have 8 sacks on the season in 2 games. 8 freaking sacks. Now, granted, half of those are Micah Parsons. But when you start getting 4 sacks a game, you're going to have some good things that are happening. What is that? Let's see, 32, 64. That's on pace for 68 sacks on the season. Now, I don't know if they'll be able to do that, but to think that playing against Tom Brady, to get a couple there, to get 6 against Joe Burrow, and now you're going against Daniel Jones, oh man, that could get really, really ugly. And we'll see where all that goes. So, Dalton Schultz may be out for this week. We may get Michael Gallup back. They are going to be. They're off today. Today's the players' day off. They get the players' day off on Taco Tuesday, which is kind of nice. But tomorrow will be the big practice of the week. Michael Gallup will be in pads, getting his first padded work and working into the team. And it's conceivable that he plays Monday night. Also, too, we're going to start seeing Jason Peters getting some pad work this week as well, as they try and ramp him up and get him ready to go for the season. And one other side note here, and I'll be more into this a little bit later. Cole Beasley has hit the Florida retirement home and has now signed to the practice squad of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers. It's kind of interesting because, see, here's where I don't want to say the Joneses are right. Okay, I don't want to say that at all. And I need to look at the numbers, and we need a little bit more time to really get in deeper with it, because a 2-game sample isn't enough. But Julio Jones, people said, oh my God, man, Tampa Bay signed Julio Jones, man. Julio Jones. See, the Cowboys, they're not interested in winning. But Julio Jones, he played good in the game against us, but he already had a knee injury and has missed last week's game. Your best ability is your availability. Now, we'll see how Cole Beasley ends up playing for Tampa Bay, but, he's starting out cold, having to get ramped up and put into the fire and things like that. This is a great opportunity for him to have the GOAT playing, throwing to him. We'll see how well it does, and how well he does, and how long it takes him to get into football shape and to get on the field. But it's sounding like Tampa Bay needs that sooner than later. And so we'll see if it ends up being that maybe we went off too much on what happened on the first game, that these guys hopefully will start getting better and better each week and maybe come along. And once we do get Michael Gallup back, maybe at some point we get James Washington out there, although James Washington really hasn't practiced much with the team because he was injured during OTAs as well as throughout training camp. Maybe these guys will get better. Maybe the offensive line will solidify more. I'm kind of one of those guys that part of the problem we had last year was we had so many different lineups. So we've got Matt Fournette, and I haven't seen the stats on how the offensive line graded out. But you may not want to change things too much. You may want to go ahead and say, we're going to go ahead and let these guys keep getting their feet wet. And ultimately, you're not going to play anybody that's worse or better than, say, the Tampa Bay defense, and they get thrown in the fire on that one. We came through with Cincinnati, who was not a sleeper on the defensive front. We came through and played pretty well with them. The Giants are definitely a good defensive team too, but let these guys get some action underneath their belt and keep on playing and becoming a cohesive unit. So that's what we got right now, dudes. And I hope you all are having a wonderful day. We'll have all kinds of news on the Dallas Cowboys. Typically, Tuesday is the day that they bring in players for tryouts and workouts to see, do we want to sign this guy or that guy. I'm still bummed about the Washington Commanders away getting, getting my boy, John Ridgeway. I really, truly liked John Ridgeway. And for those out there that say, oh, he sucked. Well, last year you could say that kind of about Quentin Bohannon, who was a rookie. And after having a year in the system, after having a year of weightlifting and training, having a year with Dan Quinn as the coach, you now look at him, he's a starter. And he's playing really, really well. So that's where we could have been with John Ridgeway. Anyway, I will catch you guys on the flip side. Be safe out there. Peace.